Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's talk about where I'm at with a lot of the fantasy and sci-fi series that I'm currently reading. I'm going to do a series check-in today, and I'm going to try to divide this up first by series I need to catch up on or complete. So there are books left for me to read in that series. And then we are going to talk about all the series that I'm caught up on and I'm waiting for the next book to come out. And then finally, I have a chunk of series that I need to restart from the beginning because too much time has passed now since I've read the first book. If you want to see series that I plan on starting this year, I will make sure to link that video down below. I did talk about 10 series that I am planning to start, but this video is just going to be talking about the ones I've already started. Before we get to today's video, I want to quickly thank this video's sponsor, Book of the Month. So Book of the Month is an online, fast-growing book subscription service. Every month, the Book of the Month team goes through hundreds of new releases and selects for you between 5 and 7 books that are new releases and hardcovers that you can select from. And every month they have so many great selections that are in a variety of genres, everything from literary fiction to thrillers to magical realism and fantasy. They have everything. It is so much fun always to go to their website and see which books are for that month's selection. They did recently announce that in the past they were limited to selecting 5 selections for you to choose from every month. But now, moving forward, there could be between 5 to 7 selections. So if you signed up for March, you get to choose from 7 new release books. That is so fantastic. I was so excited when I heard that news. It's a completely risk-free subscription service. If you don't want to select one of the books for that month, you can always skip the month for no cost whatsoever. And you can also go to their backlist of books. So they have hundreds and hundreds of backlist books for you to choose from. So if something doesn't appeal to you that month, go check out the backlist books because some of my absolute favorites of all time are available on their backlist. It's such a wide catalog and a wide variety. Like I said before, this month they have 7 selections to choose from. They have The Unsinkable Greta James by Jennifer E. Smith, Tell Me Everything by Erica Krauss, The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley, Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma, The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James, The Verifiers by Jane Peck, and The Cartographers by Peng Shepherd. It was honestly really hard to select a book from this list. I think all of them sound amazing, but I think my pick would have been The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I previously read the guest list by this author and I really enjoyed it. I've been really looking forward to her newest book. If you'd like to sign up, there is no better month to do it now that they have 7 selections to choose from. You can use my link down below and you can use the discount code PICKMEUP to get your first book for only $9.99. $9.99 for a new release hardcover. Can you get a better price? I don't think so. So thank you again so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. So let's start with the ones that I need to catch up on. I have 4 completed series that I'm currently reading that I need to catch up on. The first is the Expanse series. So I've read the first book, Leviathan Wakes, in this series, but there are 9 books in this series. And I haven't read any others. So I do have Caliban's War on this month's TBR, and I'm kind of using Caliban's War to determine whether or not I actually plan on completing this series. I didn't love Leviathan Wakes. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed a lot of it, but there was quite a bit that didn't work as well for me. So I'm kind of putting a lot of pressure on Caliban's War to help me determine if this is going to be the series for me. I don't want to have to continue in a 9-book series if I'm not loving the books. So yeah, this one to be determined, but I have a lot of reading to do in this series if I do plan on actually finishing it. Next one I have is the Discworld Death Collection specifically. So in this series, there are 5 books and I've currently completed the first 2. So I have Soul Music, Hogfather, and Thief of Time left in this series. Discworld is a bunch of short, fun books. You know, when I say short, around 300 pages is short in my mind. So they're around that, and they don't take me very long to read. I just love the writing style of Terry Pratchett, and Death as a character is so fun to follow. The stories themselves in each of these books haven't been my favorites, but I love the writing style and Death so much that I'm planning on continuing on anyway. And I've heard Hogfather is like the highlight of this series, so I'm really looking forward to getting to that point because I really want to see Death as Santa Claus. Like, I need that in my life. The next series I have is Legends of the First Empire by Michael J. Sullivan. I have read Age of Myth. I read that for my challenge video where I read one book recommendation from all of my booktube friends, and Age of Myth was one that I absolutely loved. I thought that it was such a good first book in the series, and I'm so excited to continue on because I've heard it gets better and better. I have Age of Swords on this month's TBR, and I've actually already started it. I can already tell that this is going to be one that I do end up completing because I just love the characters and the writing style too much to not finish it. So something would have to go really wrong for me to DNF this series. So there are 6 books in that series, so I have 5 more to read. And then finally, the last completed series that I am behind on is the Ryaria Revelations series by Michael J. Sullivan, and I'm actually planning on finishing Legends of the First Empire first before continuing on with Ryaria Revelations because they both take place in the same universe and they are thousands of years apart. I have read the first 2 books in that 6-book series. All right, and then a couple more ongoing series that I am behind on and need to catch up on. First is the Burnt Empire Saga by Ashok K. Banker. I read Upon a Burning Throne last year, really enjoyed it. I thought it was beautifully written, so unique. So I really need to continue on. I have 1 book to read before I'm totally caught up, A Dark Queen Rises, and I do have that on this month's TBR, so I'm planning on being completely caught up before the last book in that trilogy comes out in May. Next series that I need to catch up on is the Drowning Empire series by Andrea Stewart. I read The Bone Shard Daughter as a part of that challenge that I talked about earlier, and I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The world building, the magic, the characters, all of it was fantastic. So I need to read The Bone Shard Emperor. I actually don't know when The Bone Shard War, the 3rd and final book in this trilogy, is coming out. I think it got delayed. It was supposed to come out, I think, at the very end of this year, but I think it may have gotten delayed. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know, in the comments, because I really hope that it's coming out this year. That'd be awesome. And if so, I would really want to prioritize getting to that 2nd book. But even if it's not, I do plan on getting to that 2nd book within the next couple of months, no longer than that. And then the last one that I need to catch up on is a very recent one that I got behind on, and that is the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. I read House of Earth and Blood when it first came out, and I enjoyed it. I loved the ending of that book so much, so I definitely plan on getting to House of Sky and Breath. In fact, it is on this month's TBR as well, so a lot of these I'm planning on reading right away and getting caught up on so that I don't have to have them lingering too long in my series tracker. All right, now let's move on to series that I am caught up on and I'm just waiting on the next book to come out. I really want to focus on finishing series this year. So those series include Under the Northern Sky by Leo Carew. I've read The Wolf and the Spider, and I'm just waiting on The Cuckoo, which comes out in July, I believe. It is one that I'm highly anticipating because I enjoyed The Wolf quite a bit. I loved The Spider. I thought it improved upon The Wolf so much. It was amazing. That ending, oh my gosh. gosh. So I'm really, really looking forward to The Cuckoo. We also have one of my favorites of all time, the Founders Trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. You all know, if you've been around on this channel for any amount of time, I love Foundryside and Shorefall. I love them pretty much equally, I think. I don't think I can pick a favorite between the two. They're amazing, both 5 stars. I love this magic system. I love this world. I love these characters. I love it. I love it. It's so, so good. So I'm so excited for Locklands. That comes out, I believe, in June. And hopefully the ending sticks the landing and it doesn't like demote this series from my all-time favorites list. That would be a real bummer. The next one I have is the Legendborn series by Tracy Deonn. I read Legendborn last year and really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun YA fantasy with cool magic, awesome characters, and I really liked the ending, so I'm really looking forward to Bloodmarked, which comes out, I believe, in November. So this one is one that unfortunately I have to wait a little bit longer for, but hopefully it's a great sequel because I did really enjoy the first one. The next one is the Between Earth and Sky series by Rebecca Roanhorse. This one started with Black Sun, and it made my all-time favorites list just with the first book. It was so good. Oh my gosh, the pacing was just amazing. I could not put that book down. The world building was some of the most unique that I've ever read, and I loved the characters. So I am so looking forward to Fevered Star. That one comes out in April. I can catch up on this really soon. I don't think that the second book is the last book. I think it's a trilogy. And tell me in the comments if it's even more books than a trilogy, because that would be awesome. I would love as many books as Rebecca Roanhorse wants to write in this world, I will read. We also have Mistborn Era 2 by Brandon Sanderson. I am completely caught up on this series. However, it's not my favorite. I don't love Era 2 as much as I loved Era 1. I know that The Lost Metal comes out later this year. It's on a ton of people's most anticipated releases, and it's not on mine. I don't know if I'm planning on reading it as soon as it comes out. I might take my time with it because I don't love this series as much. I do like a couple of aspects of it. Particularly a couple of the main characters I do really like, but it's not my kind of fantasy. It's more like Western inspired, and that's just not my favorite, you know, not my favorite setting, not my favorite thing to read. So I'm not really prioritizing this, even though I am keeping it on the series tracker. I don't know if I'm gonna catch up on this one this year. So those are all of the series that I am completely caught up on. Let's talk about series that I do plan on restarting, because I let too much time pass between reading the first book and reading the sequel, because I'm the worst. We've got Raybearer by Jordan E. Fueco. This is a duology. There should be no reason that I cannot get to this year. I read the first book the month after having my baby, which that whole month, like everything that I read in that month is a wash. Like, I don't remember any of what I read. I was so sleep deprived. So a lot of these are going to be from that period of time when I was reading, because I don't know what I was thinking. But yes, this one is one that I definitely have to restart before I finish out the duology. And along those same lines, let's just talk about Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. Another one that I need to restart because I was sleep deprived when I read the first book. Oh my goodness, I don't remember really much about this first book. I remember loving it. It's great. I just don't remember anything that happened. So I really need to restart it and catch up with Flamefall, because the third book is coming out this year, so I could finish out this series if I ended up loving it, which I think I will, because I remember loving the first book. Just don't remember anything else. A couple books that I read the month before having my baby, which was still a time where I was not mentally there totally. I definitely had pregnancy brain and was very tired. So those two books are The Shadow of What Was Lost, the first book in the Lycanius trilogy. This one, you have to read the Lycanius trilogy back to back to back. You have to, because there's so much going on. There is so many twists and turns, so many characters, so much to keep track of in the first book. There's absolutely no way I could continue on with this series if I don't reread that first book. I tried and I was like, nope, I'm too lost, I can't do it. So I did read this in April of last year. That is way too long to wait to read the sequel. So that was my bad. That was my bad. And same thing with Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, another one that I read during that very fuzzy time in my brain, and a lot going on. YA fantasy, but I loved it. I loved it. There was just so much going on. I do remember quite a bit from this book, but not enough because there was a lot. So especially the ending, there was a lot. And I tried continuing with Reaper of Souls and was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do it because I don't know what's happening. So definitely need to restart that one as well. Jade City by Fonda Lee. I read this in 2020, in October of 2020, I think. Why I didn't just continue, I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't a priority. That is my bad. And I remember really liking the first book. I really liked it. I thought it reminded me a lot of Succession and Peaky Blinders. It reminded me a lot of those. I don't know why I didn't continue on with Jade War, but I didn't. And now I need to restart it. Why do I do this? Why do I do this? I don't know. I don't know. And I want to get in on all of that hype. This series is like the most hyped right now. Everyone's talking about how much they love this series. The ending's amazing. Jade Legacy is like the best book that they ever read ever in their lives. I want to know what all of that is about. I really need to prioritize it. I really do. And finally, we have the Dreamer trilogy by Maggie Stiefvater, starting with Call Down the Hawk. This one is not on me. The sequel took a really long time to come out. I think it was delayed, and it might have been because of everything going on in the world. So this one, you know, it's just, there was a lot of time that passed between the book releases, and now even more time has passed since the second book came out and I still haven't read it because I know I need to reread the first one. So that's another one that I really need to restart. But you know what? I'm not going to restart that one until the third book comes out because I don't want to have to run into this again where I need to restart it twice. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait on that one. If you were counting through all of that, this means that I have 7 series that I need to catch up on or complete. I have 7 series that I am completely caught up on, waiting for the next book, and I have 6 series that I need to restart. That is my latest series check-in. The ones that I'm prioritizing the most are the ones that are completed and I'm behind on, and then the ones that I can catch up on and have books coming out this year that I can complete. Those are the ones that I think I really, really want to get to the most out of this entire list. Other ones, like the ones I have to restart, there are some that I do plan on doing that this year with, but not necessarily all of them. It's a lot of reading, a lot of books, and I'm just trying to get through as many as I can, doing the best I can. We will see a year from now when I do this video again where I'm at. Hopefully, I have a much lower number. Did you see any series that I talked about that you have read yourself? What did you think of them? I would love to know your comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.